Hey ho and welcome to a new preview video. This time we're taking a look at a King Arthur Knight's Tale, and you're seeing the Kickstarter page here of this tactical RPG. And they initially founded this game via Kickstarter. £155,858 were gathered for the game, but you can also see that it's co-founded by the Creative Europe Media Program of the European Union. And when this Kickstarter project launched, the game was already in a pretty good shape, which you can see in the trailer here. So it's not like they started from scratch right after they made the Kickstarter project or something like that. So that's also a reason. I saw the combat here. It looked pretty polished and something I wanted to play. So I didn't hesitate to back the £20 for the game. With Kickstarter, it's always kind of a gamble, or you could call it an investment. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Of course, if you put like $100 or something in a game and then it's bad or it doesn't release at all, then well, it was a bad investment. But if you're always going for the lowest amount of money, you are supporting the developer to give the game either kickstart the project or to give the developer a bit more money to polish it. So it's a win-win situation. Usually the game is a bit cheaper than if you buy it at release. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with putting £20 into that, and because now the game is available in early access on Steam and it's available for €35. So if you want to join now, it's a bit more expensive. Yeah, the game is from NeocoreGames and has launched in early access on the 26th of January. The early access version is a bit limited. Of course, there can be bugs and some mechanics are not implemented yet. It's also limited in terms of content, so there are 2 main missions available at the moment and a couple of side quests. We're taking a look at the 2 main missions in this video now, which will take about an hour, but you probably already saw. And we have access to 7 heroes, 4 classes, and which have a level cap of 5. And the early access version the game will take about 3 to 7 more months in the early access stage before it gets the final release. At least that's what the developer mentioned in some Kickstarter updates. Of course, usually games take a little bit longer, so it wouldn't surprise me if they take a year or so. But well, I would say the chances are there that the game will be released in 2021. And so far from the game, it looks quite good. And now we will also jump into the game. And I will just disable stuff here. Alright, so we will take a look at the options first. So with the gameplay, we have some standard options for the interface: damage info, death camera, party. Well, maybe it's not that standard, but it's nothing too fancy in here. We have the audio, which is at 100% when you start up the game, everything, which is something I don't like. I think games should always start out with something like that, so that you don't have to adjust the Windows sound or something if you want to make it louder. But yeah, I reduced everything to 70%. Then we've got the graphics settings. Also nothing too fancy here. The graphics detail is set to high, which was the standard setting for me now. And the shadow detail medium. You can increase both. I am using 1070 GTX and i7 6700. So usually games on 1920 to 1080 or 1080p, they are running pretty good on that machine, but in this case it's a bit stuttering a bit on the map, for example. So I think the performance can still be optimized. But it's not like it's really bothering. I mean, it's also not a super fast-paced game, so either way. Then we've got the controls, and yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot in here, and this is because I'm using a German keyboard, I guess. It's Eingabe here. Also, here's a button for model highlight and inspect soldier stats. I'm not sure if they are not working at all or if I don't know how to use them. But like tab or something to show all the outlines in the game is not available. So these were the options. Now we start a new campaign, and we can select between a classic mode and a roguelike mode. So the game is basically working like, I would say, Blackguards if you played that. Meaning that we are basically going from mission to mission, and in each mission, well, in Blackguards you only had like one fight, but in this game you have a mission, and in there you have somewhat of a story, multiple fights, and so on. And the mission from the 2 missions I played in this, from the story here, they are about 15 minutes to maybe 45 minutes, the longest. Maybe they will get much longer later on. But in these missions you will not be able to save, that's the classic mode. And if you are playing on the roguelike mode, then everything is saved automatically. So then if you screw up in the mission, you also cannot restart it. For now I will choose the classic mode. Personally, I am perfectly fine with that. I personally hate it when you can save in combat, because that means that you can, especially or mostly in games which have like RNG based mechanics, then you can save scum your way through the combat. Like you get hit, then reload. So as long as until you get you evade the attack, which is pretty stupid. So I prefer something more solid, so that it's an actual challenge you can't avoid. And yeah, going for the classic mode. There's no other difficulty for now. I don't know if there will be in the release version. And now we will jump into the very well made intro of the game. And yes, the game is installed on an SSD.
Wake up, knight. You must take up your arms again. This is all very confusing. I know. Focus. Breathe. It will all become clear soon. You were fighting in the last great battle for Britannia, when King Arthur's adversaries marched against the once and future king. You have committed dreadful acts to fulfill your destiny. Do you remember the earth trembling? Can you recall the gathering of terrible armies? You saw Camelot burning and watched the power of magic tearing apart the world at its seams. You led knights and monsters into a deadly storm of fury and blood. You destroyed the ladies of the sun and the lords of the winter. You have killed King Arthur, and with his dying breath, he struck you down. You both died, and yet you both live. You have unleashed something that cannot be stopped. The tide of madness and pain will swallow us all. I have brought you back to end this nightmare, Sir Mordred. I want you to go on a knightly quest. I want you to finish what you have begun. Kill King Arthur, or whatever he has become, after I took his dying vessel to Avalon. Sir Mordred, living and breathing again. But is he truly alive? I wish I could talk to him, but I can't just yet. Serves him right anyway. I've set this dread knight on a dark path, and for now, I can only watch where it takes him. I've brought back King Arthur's nemesis, and wonder if I made the right choice. Mordred did the impossible, after all. Almost killed the king, who cannot be killed. And that's how the nightmare began.
Yeah, a pretty amazing intro, I would say. The transition to the game itself was not that great. I would say that it should have, like, the music should have faded out or something, because it immediately jumped into this dialogue. And the picture from the Lady of the Sea, or whatever she's called, Lady of the Lake, the picture looks a bit cheap. Maybe they can do something about that. But now we are running around in this castle, a bit Diablo-like, but yeah, the game is not working at all like this. And as I mentioned, you cannot like highlight stuff with any key, which is nice in a way, because we really try to explore the area. You pay much more attention to details in that case, but on the other hand, you will still like miss some stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's advantage. There are pros and cons to that, but yeah. Okay, we're taking a look at this statue, Shrine of the Lady. This looks like an ancient hidden shrine dedicated to the powers that rule all the waters. The engravings on the surface depict various scenes of healing and maybe a ritual where a sword-wielding warrior rises from a slab of black stone under the watchful eye of a mysterious woman clad in robes. The stone is warm to the touch, and a flicker of strange sensation prickles the skin. Magic, maybe? And we are prompted with some like tutorial information, like we can run around. And we can also, with so it's WASD, we can move the character. We can also click the right mouse button. We can also use Q and E to rotate the camera, or you use the middle mouse button. And I always recommend, if you have a mouse with additional keys, like I've got the Logitech G502, has additional buttons next to the main mouse button. I have one of these buttons assigned to middle mouse button, so I can just use that one to rotate. It's much more convenient than like pressing the mouse wheel or something.
Wait! Who the hell are you? I'm here to teach you some manners, lad. Time to earn your share of glory, knights.
Yeah, we are basically the asshole of the realm. At least it seems like that. I mean, we killed King Arthur, and now we are killing all the people here. So this is a guard from this prison thing. And yeah, we can see that we've got a couple of action points. We can move within the screen area, which means that we can still attack once, or we can move to the end of this brownish area, but then we will not be able to attack anymore. We can also enter an Overwatch mode, which means that if the enemy comes close to us, we will actually hit him. So in this case, for example, if he runs, so if I mouse over him, we can also see how far he can run. Meaning that if we go one step back and then use Overwatch mode, that means that he will not be able to attack anymore. But he will probably run into our range and we have an extra attack. So I will do that. Next turn. And we attack once, he won't be able to attack because he ran ran outside of his red range, and now we can just kill him.
Damn, that felt good. But where am I?
I thought that dying can change a man, but I might be wrong.
Hey, who's there? I can hear you. Let me out.
Yeah, the setting is a bit weird. So we are Mordred, the killer of Arthur, but we seem to be reincarnated or dragged into some other world, or at least, I mean, this is Avalon. This castle, Camelot, is on Avalon. I'm not sure about the details there, but yeah, we are alive. So Mordred, and our goal is to kill Arthur again.
What is this thing? Is it worth dying for?
More information, basic fights, and loot. So all the loot we gather here on the map, we cannot access at this point. We basically finish the mission, and then we can
Open the door, whoever you are. Help me, and I will help you.
we can access all the loot. And this is one of the similarities with Darkest Dungeon. You will see more about that later. So we have a dialogue here.
Well, well, well. Sir Kay, King Arthur's seneschal, in a dungeon rotting away, a hero's reward. An honest and capable man, but a bit dull, like an untended blade.
Sir Mordred, the Scourge of Britannia is back. Avalon is not a place for your treacherous kind.
Yeah, lip sync is not really a thing. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's not really it's not really their focus to make this fit right. And of course you can also see the flickering here. I'm not sure what's causing this. I've seen that on other areas as well. Locked up in a cage, whimpering just as I remember you, Kay.
Are you real? Or just a ghost? Tell me, Mordred, do you remember killing me?
Can't say I do, no. And yet, here you are. Speak.
Help me escape, traitor. Then we may talk.
What is this wretched place anyway?
I've already told you. Avalon, the island of the fallen knights. And this is Castle Camelot.
Yeah, but he seems very alive. So what? This Havelous Camelot?
Yes. Not the one that you remember, though.
So you, a knight of the Round Table, ended up here behind locks? Pitiful.
Some of us are still waging a war. I fought and have been betrayed. You are familiar with betrayal, aren't you?
So, from the story, if you take a look at the characters later on, they all have their little story on them. And it mentions that Mordred, so the character we are playing, basically betrayed Arthur, and all the other knights of the Round Table, they stuck to Arthur, and now they got betrayed by him, something like that. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'm not 100% sure about the story here. Trust was always your weakness, Kay. I mean, we are a pretty bad dude from the intro, so maybe we changed our alignment a bit, but maybe not. Trust was always your weakness, Kay.
And what is yours? Your bloodlust? Your savagery?
Glare in silence.
Yes, I thought so. You think you're strong enough to fight the taint on this island?
You promised me help if I set you free. How about that?
I keep my promises. I will help you, Mordred. The powers that rule this land decided to trust you with our fate. I don't know how to feel about that. But soon, you must make your very first decisions.
Open the door. And now we can also set some...
Great. That's my arm over there. Finally. I feel more useful now.
You think a sword makes you less useless?
We must get out of here. Go to the door and let me handle this.
We can also set the the formation of our party. I mean, with 2 characters doesn't really make much of a difference, but...
Rascals! I told you that you will pay for this.
What the hell is he doing out of his cell? Surprise! Time to earn your
Yeah, and this
share
is
of
basically the
glory.
introduction of orientation. Character orientation, blah blah. What's not... You can rotate your characters by right-clicking on them and dragging. Ah, okay, it's saying that. So, you can see that there's a little arrow thing on the circle, which means that we are looking into that direction. I mean, obviously, you can see also that on the character. But if I hold and drag the right mouse button, you can also turn, and it does not cost any action points. But this is super important if, yeah, to avoid being attacked on the back. So you should always try to face your enemies, because you cannot just round around them, because there's some attack of opportunity. So if I wanted, let's say he was facing me, I couldn't just run behind him and attack him, because in the meanwhile he would get an attack of opportunity to me. So I can attack 2 times now, and you can see that there's like a blood thing, a sword with a blood drop, meaning this is a backstab. And because we have enough points, we can do that again. I mean, this is the base attack, you don't need to click on it. And he has no points anymore. Another interesting thing. You have this button here, reserve. This is to convert remaining action points into the next turn. So 1 point is 1 point in the next turn. And then to gain the second, you need to convert 3 points and then 6 for another. And so 3 additional points for another 1 point. But you don't need to click on that. You can also just hit that one. All heroes will reserve their remaining AP. And this, I think, is a very good mechanic, and I would have loved to see that in Wasteland 3 as well, because in Wasteland you had to every single time you had to click on that, otherwise you would just waste your AP for the next turn, and that was unnecessary. So 1 AP reserved, and you can see that he attacked us now, but we have a pretty high armor. So instead of going into the hit points, he just scratched our armor. So these armor icons were reduced by 2. But even if he managed to get through, he would have reduced these points here. These are called hit points, and these are called vigor, I think. And these ones, they refill automatically, and these ones have to be healed in a city similar to hit points in Darkest Dungeon, for example. So now we will kill him.
In the end, all corpses look the same. What is this thing?
Yeah, what is this thing is a bit repetitive. I feel like I've heard that 1,000 times already. What is this thing? Either they should have made more...
This is the Warden's room. Prepare for battle.
More sentences like that, or just not say it every time there's something.
Sir Kay, you are really persistent, but I can't let you walk free.
You don't have much choice in the matter now, Warden. We have some killing to
So here you can see some of the flickering again on the table, especially the papers. Okay, same thing here. They can move, but they cannot move into... they cannot move into my range and attack me if I don't move to them. So what I will do now is he will be able to move there. So I will do an Overwatch here. And we'll do another Overwatch here. And that means that he will most likely run into the Overwatch zone and be attacked by both of my characters. And that's probably just one hit. He still won't be able to attack. Yeah, well, depends on where he will probably move there, then this character can't do anything, but yeah, it's fine.
Time to
We can also use different abilities. In this case, this only costs 2 points, but it means that he will be vulnerable, get 20% more damage. It's probably not worth it, but I will just use it now to show. And
I can take
that's it. So now you can see we've lost 4 points.
Let me cut you to size.
Well, I'm still standing.
Nothing to loot.
What is this thing?
Yeah. What is this thing?
Is it worth dying for?
Careful. It's quite a crowd.
You know very well that diplomacy was never my strong suit.
This is also a cool mechanic. So now we have a predictable battle. And that means that there are these zones of entries for the battle. We have spotted this one. There's another one. And there's another one. And I really like the music and the whole atmosphere in the background, sound effects. Then we have this one. Now that I've spotted all of them, I can start the combat by going to one of these spots. But I can also use all the other spots I have found before. So one of the characters, like the one with the big sword, I will put there.
Time to feed the ravens.
And this one is a ranged fighter, and this one, so that way we can just basically charge. I mean, it's not enough there, but we can do that one. Blocked. And killed.
Ready to fight.
There's not much we can do with him. And he will be able to attack us anyways, so...
I suffered a light wound.
Okay, but he has this cleave attack he can use now. He will hit both at the same time. But this one has a cooldown, so he can't use it again.
Too late to run now. What master do these soldiers serve anyway?
That would be Sir Tywelin.
Lead me to him. I want to explain him that this is my castle now.
So, you are back as well, traitor. You probably don't remember me.
So he looks even less healthy than we do. I don't even care who you are.
I am just a walking corpse, cheated out of his death. And I will make everyone suffer for this injustice.
Proud words from a walking nameless corpse.
He was Sir Tywelin, a once noble warrior with 2 sons, both knights.
Out of curiosity, are your sons such ugly monstrosities like you? We are playing the bad guy, so I will go with that. On the release, I will use the good options.
My sons are both full of life and hatred for each other. Whatever is awaiting for me here, I must face it alone. Balin and Balin are seeking their own fates now, just as I do, destined to survive anything.
What are you doing in Camelot?
I fell in battle, like we all did, but instead of gaining new life in legendary Avalon, I've returned as a lost one.
Yeah, so he's a lost one, but now I don't know what's up with the other guys, if they also died and were resurrected or something, or if they were just alive and this, yeah, I don't know how this all fits together. All I hear is a pitiful whimper, not the answers I need.
Let me rephrase it, traitor. Camelot is a sacred place, reserved for the once and future king. That is the law. But I spit on the laws of the Lady of the Lake.
Clever man, this is a great way to make an ancient enchantress very pissed. Do you think it is wise to infuriate the lady of this land?
I'm not afraid of her. Lost ones can't perish. This is our curse and blessing.
Is King Arthur here with you, walking corpse?
He is not. The unholy storm wrecked the ship that brought the dying king to Avalon.
So what? Don't waste my time.
And the raging tempest, something was waiting for the ship. And then the darkness took the king and all of us in its embrace. Arthur is beyond the Bridge of Sorrows, dwelling on the accursed land of midnight.
Spare me the poetic rubbish. Tell me where he is, and I let you live, or whatever you call this existence.
Whatever you do, you need more than a blade to break my curse.
We'll see. Worst case is that you'll keep lamenting after I take your head.
We have some killing to do.
So this one is a more powerful enemy. A bit more armor, 20 hit points. And there's also a ranged one.
I am ready.
He's already out of shield points. Okay. We should. If I move towards the enemy, they will all be able to attack me with their full force, basically. We could also move back and do the Overwatch. Move away as far as possible and split up the enemies. We could even split them up. Like so. Here and here. Overwatch. Okay.
I am injured.
Ah, okay, this was a backstab. Yeah, that was not ideal.
I am ready.
Yeah. Was not
I
the
can
best
take
choice.
them all.
Now I'm not even focusing on one character. And we can't really move past them because then they will get an attack of opportunity. Okay, that's all we can do at the moment. But it's
I am
fine.
ready. Attack.
Yeah. And gone. I guess he will be dead anyways. And this other dude we won't be able to kill in the next turn anyways, so I guess it's better to run it towards the archer. Okay.
That hurt.
And his armor is almost down. He is dead now.
That hurt. Well, I'm still standing. The battle is over, and you must make a choice, Mordred. This is merely the first in a chain of similar decisions that will eventually determine what kind of leader you will be. Tell me, what will happen to Camelot?
I have decided this is my throne room now, and with my band of selected knights, I will fulfill my destiny. I have been chosen by the Lady of the Lakes as the protector of Camelot. I will not take this throne, but I will make my round table and take on this quest. And we are the asshole again and take this one. Heroes that die are dead for good. Try to keep everyone alive. And this is basically the mission summary. So both characters have a level up. We gained a couple of different items during the mission. Some money and some resources. For now we can't really do anything with the money and resources. We will look into that later. We have a new mission, Kingstone. And yeah, this character has joined us. And this is the inventory and stuff. So we have the, well, 4 stats. Vitality, hit points, armor, action points. As mentioned, vitality is the... like, these are the real hit points, which are not automatically replenished. The hit points, on the other hand, these are some kind of buffer stuff. So we have got armor. So if we are hit, we will first lose some armor and hit points, and then when the hit points are out, then we start to lose vitality. The traits are not available yet. Morality, we will look into in a second. So both of our characters are neutral at the moment. But I've got a morality chart. And depending on our choices, so the first one I did was a bad one, so we can see that we're going into the tyrant direction. And if we do a good one, we go into the rightful direction. We also have the old faith and the Christian decisions. And that means that we're basically moving towards, well, either one of these directions or one of these directions. And I think that's a bit of an issue with the game. maybe that's a bit of an issue, I'm not sure. But because usually you want to actually have choices, right? And think, okay, do I want to take the good or the bad one? But in this case, if you're choosing the bad path, you basically are not deciding anymore, and you're just picking all the bad decisions, or the not bad decisions, or the evil decisions, right? Because if you, like, half of the decisions are rightful and half the decisions are tyrant, you would just stay in the middle and you would not unlock any new abilities and stuff, or buildings, or whatever you can do here. New recruits and yeah, unlocks trade posts for building development. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you want to unlock here, and it would be pretty bad if you just stayed in the middle, because you decide one, like you switch around your decisions. And yeah, I don't think that's a very good design. But I mean, I've not seen the whole game yet, so maybe there's something more about that. One more thing about that, actually, if we are going into one of the extreme directions, so let's say if we are on the top left corner, the rightful Old Faith guy, and we have some companions which are like the opposite end, or even maybe rightful, and our companion is tyrant, they might leave us. So that might be an advantage of staying in the middle, but I doubt it will actually be worth it. Then of course we have the level up, and we have the skill choices on the right side. It's separated into 3 tiers. If we spend like 10 points in the top one, we unlock the second, and so on. And in here we have some of the skills we had before, like this strike, this is just a standard attack, and this cast stigma, and we can improve that by 1 skill point. Every level up we get 2 skill points, and yeah, I can choose 2 of these, or I can choose to learn a new ability. With this, for example, we get 25% more HP from armor items. We could get 20 mental resistance, the dot effects are less powerful, and vitality is increased by 3, which doesn't sound super useful, but yeah. So in this case, I think this one is quite powerful, and I mean, this is far more than these 3 points. But we can also use this one to stun, or target armor is reduced, which is also quite powerful. Stigma lasts longer, causes 10% vulnerability more. I will take this one. So right now we have 42 hit points. Hold. We have 48. So we gained 6 hit points, which I think is worth more than 3 vitality. And if we like equip new stuff, for example this one, we will get even more out of it. So yeah, I think these ones are also somewhat randomly generated. So this one is a Vanguard and Sage only. This character is a defender, and this one is a champion. So this item is better than our current armor. And then we've got weapons, which we cannot use. And we have regain 1 armor when drinking potions. Okay. This one is slightly better, so we'll take that one. And in here we've got a bit more armor, but less hit points, so not really worth it. And this is the same. Not doing anything here, but we've got 2 hit points, 2 skill points to distribute. Which, for example, we can use to reduce the cooldown by 1, and this one had just a cooldown of 1 turn, so we basically eliminate the cooldown. And we can also increase the damage. And that's the level up for this character. And with that, we are going into the next quest, we can always take 4 characters into the mission. And in this mission, we have to save some peasants. Don't forget to use your potion. Yeah, well, it's not really necessary with the 2 story missions in the beginning. Obviously, later, especially if you play on roguelike, it will most probably be very valuable. Permadeath, I mean. Kingstone.
I hear the noise of battle. Quick, let's spoil their fun.
And let's see if we get the discovery sentence again.
What is this thing?
Yeah. What is this thing?
Garbage or real treasure this time?
Come on then, fellows. Let's play.
Well, if it isn't good Sir Balin.
Yes, the righteous fool, trying to save the village on his own. Which one will die first?
I think the quality of the voice recordings is very good, but I'm not really convinced of Balin's voice acting. He can move to there. Yeah, let's do that. And backstab. We can either kill him. I'm not sure if he will still have a turn before the enemies. Oh, well, we just kill that guy. Yeah. Automatically turns, okay.
Onward.
Still alive.
Well, I'm still standing.
By the old gods, Sir Mordred. The rumors are true then. You have returned.
Sir Balin, wasting away your talents as always.
I'm only following my knightly oath by protecting the innocent. The nearby village is plagued by these brigands, and I must stop them.
I hate to admit, but I'm here for the same reason. I need this land.
So you are truly taking King Arthur's place in Camelot, recruiting knights. You should find my brother. He would be a great fit to your dark court.
I fought and killed your late father in Camelot. No hard feelings, I hope.
Finally, you committed a murder that you should not regret. He became a disgrace to everything he fought for in his life. Death was salvation for him.
Where is Sir Balin?
That selfish, wild zealot is busy defending our heirloom at the Bridge of Sorrow. It should have been mine, but he ignored our father's will.
Tell me about that.
Curse upon Balin. Anyway, my late father believed in Arthur's creed that a knight is defined by the deeds, not by the land.
So, his father wasn't that bad, I guess. What do you know about King Arthur? I must find him, or should I say, that is my nightly quest.
You are not the only one looking for him. Something terrible happens to Avalon, and people need guidance.
You have a point? Do you have any idea where he could be? They always do. Weaklings. We'll see about that when I finally meet Arthur.
The ship that brought him to Avalon reached shore beyond the Bridge of Sorrows. I would start looking for him there, in the Whispering Cove. That's what my father told me and my brother, anyway.
I will get to the bridge as soon as I'm finished here.
Our goals are the same. I'll accompany you.
I've heard enough. Let's go. You want to join our mighty quest? I want you to roleplay this. Yeah, gamers.
Animals. Half of the village is killed and maimed, the other half hiding in the woods. We must stop this.
And now we've got another combat.
What's this?
These brigands are not even worthy to stand trial. We shall kill them all.
Still a good old Balan, protector of the weak.
Spare me the cynicism. You are here for the same reason as I am. To save these people.
Yes, I need them to work the fields, see?
You are a disgrace to everything the Round Table stood for.
Maybe this land needs my round table to survive. Do I ever grow tired of killing?
Yeah, so Balin reminds me of the localization of Planet Alcatraz, which wasn't
Awaiting your command.
wasn't great. We will set one character. So what I would like to see, and yeah, we can press Control and we can press Alt, but it's not doing anything. And according to the menu, it should show stats or something. So it would be nice to be able to see how much damage they each do. So for example, I could see which character would have the best chances of killing him directly. So he has a big axe, so I guess he does the most damage, but I don't know.
Your command?
Well, he has this attack. It's at 0, but there's a decent chance that he will survive that, so we do this. And it's definitely dead. Backstab.
Attack.
And another backstab.
Taste my
They can't reach us in the next turn anyways, so he will shoot. This is a bow as well. Okay. Okay, so we can't really move, or we will trigger the attack of opportunity. So I will just try to kill them.
Ready to fight.
Okay. And we still got some points. This doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Just a light injury.
So
Repent, sinners!
Yeah.
You shall stand against me.
Okay. So he goes there. Attack. Attack.
To hell with you.
We are victorious.
Ah, Sir Mordred. You really don't have to thank me.
A lady with a bow. I could use someone like you. All you did was to steal my chance to finish these mongrels.
I'm Lady Dindrain, the Lord's chosen, seeker of the Holy Grail.
I always thought that this quest was meant for Galahad and Percival.
Aren't you helpful? I wish I had thought of that earlier.
Where are the Grail Knights then? You must know them well.
Do I know them? Yes, you could say so. Percival is my brother, a bright light in the encroaching darkness, fighting his battles where I can't reach him.
And Galahad?
Galahad is... well, trust me when I say that he is truly lost.
Don't
Now I'm alone in my holy quest. It is my trial by fire.
Don't tell me you're looking for the Grail among these hovels.
No, I'm looking for redemption in this hellhole, Dread Knight.
You're hoping to die from a cheap rusted blade?
No, sir. I'm hunting down their leader, the Marauder Knight hiding in a ruined tower.
Our destination is the same then.
The good Lord sent you then. I'm always glad to have some walking shields around me. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. And I think these pictures here, these portraits, I mean these first three are 3D models. And this one looks like maybe a draw. I mean, we can also zoom in a bit. This is probably also just the 3D model. But if we... they look kind of realistic, I would say. But in a second, the Lady of the Lake will talk again.
What is this thing?
New tutorial. Shrines. With that, we can replenish some stuff. And because we have her, I think we will see what's actually doing. Otherwise, there's a 50% chance that it actually does something bad. Actually, you feel like it will unleash the following power. Regain armor. Yeah, but nobody's... we do it later. But I just wanted to show again.
Look at you,
Yeah.
Mordred. In the old days, you raised the towers of mad wizards and crushed the champions of the She. And now you are trying to save some dirt-poor villagers. How profoundly and...
They are chasing me! Help! Please!
So Lady of the Lake is some more almost manga-style drawing, which doesn't really fit to the rest of the game. So I hope that this is a placeholder. So they can't attack anyways. So I will just stay back. We will start here by just...
Defend yourself. Back. I mean, we've got all the time in the world. I'm not sure if they are going to attack her, if they can. Attack! Defend yourself.
So he could still move back, but there is a limitation on how far you can run away. So you can't kite them through the whole map. Well, maybe you can if they are if they are slower and you can run around them.
Blessings. Defend yourself.
Okay. Unfortunately, he can't kill both of them at the same time, but...
Away awaiting your command.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Another notch on my blade. Garbage, or real treasure this time.
Ah, the exclamation mark also isn't the most beautiful one.
Thank you for saving me.
Maybe another symbol would have been a bit nicer there. Okay, let's replenish the armor from Balin. Use it, Sir Balin. So that one is full again. We also...
What is this thing?
What is this thing? Got an option to rest here now. Resting areas. But we are almost completely full. So there's like a couple of hit points left. And there's its armor. Well, I mean, we can just do it. Lost armor. And then everyone is
Ready to serve the
healed
Lord.
again with the armor.
This is where the Lord of the Vermin is hiding. Let's cleanse this hovel once and for all.
So there's the point of entry. There's one. And there's another one. And
What is this thing?
Lord, give me strength.
there we trigger combat. So, we've got an archer here. Another one there. This one is melee. So I can put the... I will put my archer here and focus on that character.
Your command?
There were two people staying on the same spot. One is going
Time to
there.
feed the ravens.
And like that. Finish. Let's start with him. So he's already at -1. Unless, I mean, there's always a bit of luck involved. I'm not sure if that's a backstab. It's not.
I can take them all.
For Camelot!
He can't do anything anymore, and then she can... Yeah.
No mercy.
One step forward, and that's it. So he's basically surrounded or flanked. So let's see what we can do here. Let's start with her, maybe.
no mercy.
Bleh. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he can just turn around and he's not backstabbed. He will just do a normal attack. Ah, okay. So I think he has Overwatch active. Then I will just not enter this. Ah, okay. Nah, that also means that he could, in theory, run to him. Okay. Mm-hmm. Maybe she can... No. I mean, she also has this firebolt, but...
Lord, forgive me.
It's not any good any moment.
Your command?
Bams.
I suffered a light wound.
We have all sinned.
Yeah, and now that the mission is already finished, we've got this finish mission button, and we can use that to leave the mission. Or we can just continue running around and exploring the area, loot the remaining items and so on. So here's more stuff. Lucky charm, trophy, but I think that's it. And now we finish the mission. We get a new complete mission screen with all our rewards, level ups and that stuff. Watchman's coin. And now we've got another decision. The defeat of the Marauder Knight of Kingstone was a harsh lesson for all the scoundrels pillaging the countryside, and a pleasant exercise for me. His remaining henchmen immediately laid down their weapons and offered their servitude. How admirably they crave retribution. I could give them a second chance and recruit them. On the other hand, I should satisfy the vengeance of the villagers and make an example that could reinforce my reign. What shall it be? Put the raptured marauders to sword, tyrant. Are you ready to discover Avalon even further? You can play the side missions or explore other available features of the game. In order to make this part even more enjoyable, we have added 2 new heroes to your roster. And although you have now completed the early access section of the campaign, the story will also continue in the full version of King Arthur Knight's Tale. Until then, safe travels in Avalon. So we have 2 new characters now, we have the level ups, we have a couple of new missions to choose from. As I mentioned before, we can take 4 characters into any mission. And we also can rebuild our castle now. Let's have a look here. So we can see that's moving further to the tyrant thing. And this is what I meant with performance, because that one is stuttering a bit. I mean, it shouldn't be, but yeah. So Camelot, we can reconstruct it. The once and future king's stronghold in Avalon, the mirror image of the glorious fortress in Britannia created by the powers that rule this mystical land. On the most powerful knight of the round table, Only the most powerful knight of the Round Table can claim it. The blessings of the lady have protected the place for a long time, but now it lays in ruins. You need resources and workers to rebuild it as the seat of your future kingdom. Reconstruction. So we've got a couple of buildings which aren't even available in the early access version. But we also have the hospice and the cathedral, and characters can also gain like injuries. And these injuries, I think it's similar to what you have in Darkest Dungeon, like these bad ticks or something. They can be healed in the cathedral. If they lose the vigor, that can be healed in the hospital. So if we reconstruct that, like in Darkest Dungeon. If I said Dwarf Fortress, I meant Darkest Dungeon. We can like move the characters into one of these slots, and then they are being healed, and they can't join in the next mission or next missions, depending on how long it takes. I think it was like 20% per turn or so is healed. We can also upgrade the buildings, also like in Darkest Dungeon. So there's like more healing, second slot, third slot, fourth slot, what's there? Vitally healing cost is reduced by 10%. We've got the merchant for new items. Can combine new stuff, increases the number of available items. Item buying cost is reduced. Offer refreshes more frequently. Better quality items appear in the offer. Yeah, and that's about it for the early access version of the game. I hope I've been able to give you a good overview of the game. If you like content like this, like further additional previews of games, like early access versions or beta alpha versions, you will find these on this channel. You will also find reviews on this channel, and probably also Let's Plays in the future. This game in particular I will play on my German channel, so you will not find that. But as soon as I finish it, I will do a review in both languages, and I will put up English version of the review in this English channel. And if you don't want to miss that, then please subscribe. Also, thank you for liking and commenting on this video. And yeah, that's it from me. As I mentioned, the game is available on early access on Steam for 35 euros. I don't know the dollar price, but well, check it out. As I mentioned in the beginning, it will take 3 to 7 more months or so, probably longer, if you have a look at other like development periods. So I would say maybe a year, maybe close to a year. Maybe the game will be finished during this year. So until then, it's being polished, and yeah, if you want to have a look into it, give feedback and whatever, then of course feel free to join. I like the game so far. It's a very has a nice atmosphere. It's dark, it's gritty, and yeah, it looks like the story might also be interesting and how it's going. Usually I'm not much of a fan of going into these real fairy tale areas of just replaying King Arthur's saga or something like that, even though I'm not that familiar with that. But this one gives the whole thing a nice spin. It's interesting, and yeah, we will see how the things develop with Mordred and King Arthur. And yeah, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.